A suction machine spun on. Dark brown blood and bile slowly snaked up the tube, through my nose, and into the giant collection tank. Every 5 minutes or so, the nurses would replace the tank with a fresh one, and the process would start again. Take a breath. You will get through this. Within an hour of being moved to my recovery room, a nurse came in with a clipboard. She checked my 4 vital signs: body temperature, pulse, breathing rate, and blood pressure. She must have known I was suffering deeply, because she looked at me with a kind of compassionate expression and asked, "Are you in pain, honey?" These words, "Yes, God, I'm in pain." All right, I'm gonna be totally honest with you guys. I had this whole script planned out. It wasn't even a script. It was a full-on 4 or 5 page manifesto, Pulitzer Prize winning review of The Fifth Vital, Mike's new book. It just didn't feel right to go on script for this kind of video, considering Mike has built this platform about being honest and open and being real with the person watching. So I kind of want to embody that same spirit in this review of his book. This is going to be part 2 of what I'm now calling my Logan Paul saga. If you haven't checked out part 1, I reviewed / bought Logan's face mask. I'll leave the link up there and in the description, so check that out. And yes, I will be reviewing Logan's new merch. It's somewhere in the ether. And I'm going to review the Maverick Club, so subscribe to see those videos. Anyway, let's get into the man of the hour, Mike Majlak. This is The Fifth Vital, Mike's autobiography, Mike's story and journey with drugs, and how we overcame them. So I think many people that watch Impulsive or know of Mike have probably memed this guy pretty hard for how often he talks about it. But I gotta say, we all owe him an apology, because he held back a lot.
That is everything. It's everything. It's every sick, twisted, regret, disgusting thing that I can't wrap my brain around how bad of a state that I was in to have done the things that I did is in this book.
There are some stories in here. Wow. This thing gets so sad and so down at so many points in the story. And before we begin, I actually want to talk about a couple of recurring themes in the story, because they're the message that Mike wants to send with, people who read this book.
Oh, your story makes me feel this way. Your story, I have struggled with this. I've struggled with that. My mom did this, whatever. Your story makes me feel okay. Makes me want to keep going.
Number 1 is pain. Number 2 is faith. Number 3, take a breath. You will get through this. I think a good example of this is actually Mike's first encounter with hard drugs. The story goes that Mike was playing basketball one day with his friends, and he started to feel really bad, and he ruptured his spleen. He had to be rushed to the hospital, where they had to pump his stomach and remove the spleen. And after the surgery, Mike was in grueling pain, and the nurse comes up to him and she asks him, "Are you in pain, honey?" That's when Mike first realizes the magic, I hate saying that, but the magic of drugs. Unfortunately, 3 weeks later, Mike had to go back to the hospital because he had a post-surgical relapse. As a result of the surgery to remove my spleen, my intestines had become entangled in a knot and were blocking the digestion and passing of food through my body. Pain, pain, pain was all my mind could chatter until it was over. Now, Mike uses the story to kind of set up a recurring pattern that happens throughout the book, right? A traumatic event happens that almost makes him want to change his ways, but he always relapses. The way he ends this chapter is going to be the way he ends a lot of other chapters in this book. The door in my life that had just been cracked open for future drug addiction had just been propped open a little bit wider. One of the ways that Mike says that he kept getting a steady stream of drugs was because he was using the money that he got from dealing them. Mike's story as a dealer is actually pretty straightforward. It's kind of like a corporate ladder. He does a good job, he moves up a notch in the ladder. And at some point, this part of the story escalates in an event that Mike actually mentions on Impulsive.
Giving us the warning exactly a week earlier. Where's the fucking money? The second my connect said we're working on it, pistol to the face so fucking hard. Blood splattered on the wall in front of me. Dude falls to the ground and he pummeled his face with a 9mm for
Mike's story is actually really inspiring for people who feel trapped and unable to move on because the prospect of starting life over from scratch again is so scary. And I think that's what Mike's message really is. It's not about flexing his newfound fame or anything. It's just to kind of show people, hey, it's at the very least, it's possible to get your life at least semi back on track in a way that you want it to be. Kind of sums up my thoughts about The Fifth Vital. Watch the Logan Paul part 1, subscribe to see part 2 and 3 with the merch and Maverick Club, and subscribe. All right, later, bye.